What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight. This is the Real Review 3000 and Chaos Central with the Rule of Three. We're waiting on Danny, but we do have three people here, so that's good enough to start. That's what I say. We're going to bring these guys in one at a time and have them tell you about themselves, their channel, and all of that. First off, we'll bring in Nzo. Nzo, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. What's up, guys? How you doing? Chris, thanks.
Not a problem. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And up next, it's Gaiskar. Gaiskar, how you doing?
Awesome. Thank you for having me again. Back at home.
You know, when I see you in the Adidas hat, and is that an Adidas jacket?
Yeah.
Man, dude, all I think is Beastie Boys, man. I'm just thinking Beastie Boys when I see like that. I'm like, dude, I love it, though. That's awesome. All right, guys. Do me a favor. Tell everybody about yourselves and where you can be found. We'll start with you, Nzo, of course. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. You guys know the channel, Biggaford Entertainment. Got the Rule of Three, Chaos List, Chaos Conversation, OOC. Danny said, work, bro, ain't gonna make it.
Fair enough.
That sucks, Danny, because I was ready to rip up your questions today if they came up. But you'll watch. Yeah, so check out the channel, guys. Do appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. Let's do it. Gaiskar.
Yeah, man. Like Nzo said, thanks to him. That's why I'm here. Sunday, 9 p.m. on his channel. Also on Chaos Central, One Division Roundtable. Mondays, 9 p.m. Chaotic Conversation with Danny. Also on the Chaos Central. Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Chaos List. And Wednesdays, 7 p.m. right here, Rule of Three. And don't forget to catch us later at 10 p.m. on the OOC.
Indeed. And then we'll just bring this guy in here so he can say what he's got to say. What's going on, Danny?
What up, Danny?
Trying to earn a dollar, boy.
I understand. So, do you want to say something to Nzo about what he just said?
I would just say I'll stay as long as this channel will allow me to stay.
All right.
Fair enough. We can do that. All right. So, guys, you know what this is all about. Very simple. 3 topics, 3 minutes. And basically, we just get to hear each other's opinions. We get to talk about it together and all that good stuff. Do me a favor. My pinned tweet right now is the stream. Please do me a favor and tweet that out if you would. I greatly appreciate it. At Chris95150 is where you can find it right there. And if you have a Discord server, take the link, put it in your Discord servers, just share it out there, guys. Let everybody know we're going live and we're on right now. So, really simple. We'll get straight to the point. Get to the wheel of topics. Ooh, that's beautiful, isn't it? We're going to stop sharing that. Hold on. Let's see if we can. Yeah.
See, guys?
I'm going to send somebody.
Problems.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Oh, yeah. Next thing I got to do is I got to share the sound so we can hear it. There we go. Spin it. If they introduce the X-Men in the Marvel TV series, which one should it be? I made that short, but basically, which one should it be, or should it be spread evenly between all of them? That's kind of the other side of that I was going to ask, but put that in the chat. And we'll remove that. 3 minutes goes up on the board. Let's go ahead and let Danny have first up since he's in the car. Danny, you got 3 minutes. I'll let you know when it's up. Time starts now.
What I want to see is more Mr. Sinister, maybe those origins, and I want to see Gambit. I am a fan of Wolverine, but however, I think that there is really only one Wolverine right now in my mind. That's Hugh Jackman. I know that there is someone that can play the part, but right now, I just don't know who that is. I would like to see the original X-Men done right, like with Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, Kitty Pryde, Iceman. I would like to see those origins. Some of the ones we had in the past were good. Some of them were crap. But if they're going to do something, I would want to see the originals. probably want to see. I would mind seeing the kind of Rogue and Gambit, that little sexual tension they have, and all that kind of stuff, and it being from Louisiana, and in that little gang. I can't think of the name of what it used to be in. I wouldn't mind seeing that aspect of it. But they had left off on one of the eggs. I can't think which one it was. They showed the Essex Corporation, which is definitely Sinister. So I wouldn't mind seeing Sinister being introduced. I think that they have the perfect actors play Magneto and Professor X. I am a Patrick Stewart fan, but I just think he's a little too old. So I would go with James McAvoy and Mike Fassbender. I would still recast those if I was Kevin Feige. Go that route. So I think they are young enough to do what he wants to do. Because usually let's go give him that 10-year pops or clips or whatever the case may be. So I think they can hold those characters for another 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. So I definitely want to see the X-Men come back. Don't know how they're going to do it now. I know one time they were talking about introducing Storm to Black Panther, but since Chadwick Boseman has died, and I think that character he played, T'Chaka, is going to die. T'Challa. I don't know how we're going to introduce her that way, so I don't think it's going to work. So,
do you think they should bring him in through the TV series?
I wouldn't mind. Seeing them. If they're talking about the Wakanda.
Well, any of them.
Any of them, they would do it. I wouldn't mind doing that because it's going to give you a little bit more time to get into the background. A movie is only going to give you 2 hours, 3 hours best. But if you do a TV show, that you can have 6, 7, 8, up to 12 hours, depending on how many episodes they give you.
Okay. All right. That's the 3 minutes right there. Thank you very much, Danny. Let's see. We're going to hide that. Restart it. Who wants to go next, guys?
Okay.
All right. Nzo, 3 minutes. Go ahead.
I was thinking about this and I'm like, I don't know if it should be in a TV series. I think what they should do is they should introduce them, maybe show that here's what I think they should do. At the end of WandaVision, when she opens up the multiverse, they give little hints of mutants. Then when we get to Doctor Strange, we see that mutants are in their universe now. And I think when they do introduce them, I think it should actually be in Captain Marvel 2. I think it should be Rogue. And then we can see how Rogue gets her powers from Captain Marvel. So for me, I think that's the best way to do it. Because with all the shows coming out, Loki, I don't see X-Men in that one. I don't see X-Men showing up in Winter Soldier and Falcon. What else is there? WandaVision, like I said, is the only way I think that they can actually open up the multiverse to bring in the X-Men. But I don't think we should see them in WandaVision, but they can hint to it. I think the X-Men are a big enough franchise that they go straight to the movies, and then once they're established, then you can do little like X-Men's that are maybe not as popular. You could do little TV series on them and stuff like that. But when it comes to bringing them in, start with Rogue. Because when we see Rogue in the X-Men movies, we don't know how she gets her powers. And obviously, since they're not a part of the MCU, she doesn't get her powers like she does in the comic, which is from Captain Marvel, right? That's how Rogue is able to fly and all of that stuff. So just imagine bringing her into the Captain Marvel. We get our first taste, and that's when everybody starts to realize that, wait, Wanda and her brother are not miracles anymore. You can call them mutants now, right? Because they called them a miracle or some crap like that in the movie, right? So you can call them mutants now, and then you can show that they're popping up every now and then. You can have a couple cameos in other movies until you actually get to the big X-Men movie. I'm with Danny. I think Patrick Stewart is a little bit too old to play Professor X yet. I wouldn't be mad with McAvoy. think he's a good actor. I wouldn't be mad them going that route. But I mean, if they're gonna start, I think they should completely recast all of them. You know what I mean? They don't want to confuse people and have people thinking, well, it's that universe, unless they tie that universe into the MCU. If they do that, then I can understand that. But if they're not planning on doing that, which I don't think they are, because if they were, then the Quicksilver that's coming in Wanda, spoiler alert, would be actually the Quicksilver from the movie, and it's not. So,
well, that's the thing. I think that they are making a very interesting move on that, and we can talk about that here when we do the 3 minutes with all of us. Really quick before I get to you guys, Car, I want to thank Poe for being here. F30 AMN. I see we got Dandelion Fluff, LDG's in the chat. We have Maddie. We have Austinator. Let's see here. Who else do we have? And Garrett's in the chat. And guys, I do try to read your guys' chats. If it's, and I don't mean you have to, by no means do you have to, but even $1, if you do a super chat, I'll guarantee you that it'll get up. It's just, I try to read through that, but I try to listen to what everybody else is saying too. So just saying, again, you don't have to. No, but we'll get to that Quicksilver.
Did you see you got a new member, Chris?
Yes, I did. And I want to thank all of my members, by the way. We got Poe, we got Lady Tariel, Jesse Ritchie, JJ, A.K.A. Sithlord3827, and now Nzo of Biggaford Entertainment. Thank you so very much. I meant to say something. Last night on my video, I added a different place to put it, and I put it up on a thing, and now I have to change it. Not that that's a problem. I appreciate that. I really do. And guys, that's another thing, the join button down below. If you're watching this on the Real Review 3000, you click that join button. There's a video there. You can join the channel. If you do, I greatly appreciate it. If you don't, that's fine. Things are weird for everybody right now, so I don't expect anything. All right. Again, thank you for everybody being in the chat. And next up, we have Gaiskar. Gaiskar, got 3 minutes.
All right. I think right now, especially in WandaVision, they can definitely use that platform to start introducing mutants. I see that, with the whole Mephisto and everything that's lurking in the behind scenes, the House of M cues and Easter eggs that they're putting in the wine bottle, things like that. They're already plugging in, by these Easter eggs, the X-Men, things of the X-Men. The Quicksilver that's part of the X-Men franchise that's going to be in the movie. I have a feeling that everything that's going on now, one of the things that they're trying to do is integrate the X-Men through WandaVision. Who is it going to be at the end? Honestly, if they are able to plug in Magneto and some kind of connection with Wanda saying, that they're related or just bring his name up, that would be crazy, I find, because that brings the link with him and Quicksilver. Just to mention the name that, you're Wanda, but your real name is the Scarlet Witch, a name that hasn't been heard in the Marvel Cinematics, right? So that would be really cool to see that, and for if they're gonna use the TV shows, I think that you can easily introduce either clues of Wolverine and Falcon Winter Soldier, right? Because Wolverine was part of the Weapon X program. You have Falcon, that he was a special elite force with his flying suit. You have Bucky that was part of whatever program he was when he was taken, right? So it's all about military programs. It's an easy plug to plug in Wolverine, the Weapon X program. Not necessarily Wolverine, but the Weapon X program. And just by the Weapon X program, you're just plugging in Deadpool and a bunch of other that don't come to mind right now that were part of that program as well, right? Throw in Strider in there by all means. You know what I mean? As a cameo or whatever, whichever one you want to use.
You mean Stryker?
Stryker. I said Strider.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Stryker. But there's so many ways they can do about it, and after what Kevin Feige is doing right now, he's going to do it right. As for the actors, I agree 100%. Patrick Stewart, he's way too old. Go with what's his name, McAvee, that they used in the cinematics. A lot of those actors were dead on. Even I don't know how he looks today, but even the Gambit they had in the Wolverine movie, right? He was awesome. So yeah, I
He
can
was
continue
horrible.
talking. No, he was good. I liked his demeanor.
His
lines
trash.
sucked. It was the writing, but himself, I don't know. I think I liked him. I liked him. He just needed an accent, more of an accent, a Cajun accent. If you have that character, the way he looked was okay.
There's
if you have him talking like the guy in the cartoon, the animated series, then it would be good.
Well, there's I can't remember where it's at, and I don't know. It was one of you guys that showed me it on YouTube. There's a short film. Yeah. The guy they got for that. Right on. I mean, he's dead on for Gambit. So yeah, I'll have Danny, or I'll look for it. One of the two. Okay. Let's get over here. Reset this. 3 minutes. Well, of course, I want to see the X-Men. Yeah, I agree. Younger people. It'll work. Give you longevity in characters, because it's really important that you keep those characters, especially in a movie like X-Men. Anybody that's going to be recurring throughout multiple films, you got to start them out as young as possible, I think. But where they're going to come in, I do agree that WandaVision is going to be one of the better places for it. I think Loki, because the TRV that they're introducing in that, I think it's TRV, like the time cops of the comic book. That's really got a lot more to it than what they seem to be showing, so they could show up somewhere there. I like the thought, though, Nzo, of you bringing up Captain Marvel 2. I might make Captain Marvel 2 even more worth watching. But I would definitely say the WandaVision is probably the best place for it. And I don't want them to actually be, like, put into the show. I want to... I want hints at it, and that's kind of some of the stuff they're doing, and maybe little quick cameos and stuff, and that'll do well for me. I'd be just fine with that. I'm interested to see what they're doing with the Quicksilver. If it's just somebody in a costume that's supposed to represent like her brother, like something that's jarring her memory or something.
Well, from what I heard, IMDb has him listed as a totally different character.
Okay.
Yeah, so not as Quicksilver.
Interesting. I just think that WandaVision fits more of it. The multiverse part makes sense that could bring it in, or bring some explanation to why mutants are around, different powers penetrate them and their bodies unlock things, which would then easily be explained why Wanda was the way she was and why her brother was the way she was, or he was. They could easily bring that, once the multiverse opened up, it opened other people's potential that they didn't know about, or that, something like that. But yeah, I don't want to see too much of them. I just want to hear and see hints. That would be better for me.
I agree
all three
with you.
Talk about this.
I agree with you 100%. I don't want to see them like in it. Like a hint to them would be good. You know what I mean? And that's why I say you could start bringing them into some of the movies. But with WandaVision, you can hint that X-Men are now, or mutants are now part of the MCU. So I'm with you on that.
And I don't think it's that big of a jump to go ahead and again, a good script writer can write it so that Wanda's one too. Because again, the only thing they just couldn't do was call them
The
mutants.
mutants, right?
So you're not that far away from it. So basically, this would just be like the scientists just don't know how to classify it, and
then calls them mutants.
Yeah. And then you find these other scientists that all are working in a group. So we've found this phenomenon, but we call them mutants because their bodies have mutated and done. I mean, something like that. I would think that's going to be the way they go. What do you think, Gaiskar?
I agree, because they don't have to make it complicated.
Exactly.
You know?
They don't. Yeah. Why make something complicated that's as simple as a word? Putting it into a script, right? Come on, it's just like throwing in metachlorines, right? Star Wars. Yeah, that's making it complicated, right?
It is.
Exactly. So no, man, just say, there's humans that are mutating with powers, and they're considered mutant. That's it. There's not more.
Just calling them mutants.
That's absolutely it. Why the hell? Just shit.
You can say something like, they were scared or they were hidden, like hiding their powers all throughout the first 3 phases. They weren't, and then all of a sudden now, with all the things going on, you can see people coming out and trying to be heroes and helping out now and showing that they have powers too.
Well, I have another thing you can throw in there. You could also say that anybody who was snapped, that it happens to be those people. They're more of those people that when they came back, their powers were unlocked. I mean, things like little things like that. We don't know what it is because that was an Infinity Stone thing. So even if you wanted to go back to the Infinity Stones, have something to do with it, right there. When you got snapped, that was brought on by the Infinity Stones. That unlocked a lot of people's powers, just like that. Boom.
Or even the invasion of New York, right? When the portal was open.
Yeah, well, that's that too. I mean, there's lots of different things they could point to. We found out instances, or we found that these certain instances in our world have caused mass mutations that people hide it because they didn't know what it was or why it was. But no,
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, even that too. I mean, Austinator stuff that gets together, from WandaVision.
Wouldn't it be cool that force field is being done by Professor Xavier?
That'd be interesting.
Because WandaVision can't control her power.
Possibly.
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
And he's in like another.
I don't know if they would do
trailer.
that, but I could see that.
He's in another trailer, of the whole.
Like they just sit there and go, like, I don't know, how is this even? Where's the force field coming from? And said, well, we've got these people. All right, let's spin for the next topic. If there is a Creed 3, would you want to see Adonis take on Clubber Lang's son, who would be played by Michael Jai White?
I'll go first.
Okay. Get that in the chat. Bring up the timer. Nzo, 3 minutes. Go right ahead.
Absolutely, positively not. First off, it cannot work because Michael Jai White is old enough to be Adonis's father. So how the hell could he be Clubber Lang's son? It's not going to work. And not to mention that we just had Creed 2 where he fought the son of the dude that killed his father. Now we're going to have him fight the son of Clubber Lang. I don't want to see that. I want them to go a different route. What I do is, well, I don't know what they can do. I know there is talks for a Creed 3, and Michael B. Jordan is actually planning on directing it. But at the end of the day, I don't know what I would like to see. I just know that it just can't be done. Michael Jai White is way too old to play Clubber Lang's son, maybe if you want to put Michael Jai White as an older heavyweight champion that's coming out of retirement or something like that and wants to fight the young buck for the belt or something like that, I guess. But to say him as Clubber Lang's son, nah. I think what they did with 2, where they brought in the son of the man that killed his father, was perfect. You know what I mean? And once you do something like that, you don't want to go to the well too many times. You know, you got to make each movie different, and that's exactly what they need to do with Creed 3. They need to make it different from 1, which was different from 2, and then make it different. So if you go back to the same route where he's fighting Rocky's rival son, you know what I mean? It's just the same type of thing. And at the end of the day, man, that dude that he fought, that Russian dude, I don't think it would have the same intensity if you're putting in Clubber Lang's son, because the history that was going on through that story is what actually made that fight entertaining. You know what I mean? The fact that it was like, oh, this guy killed my father, and now he's coming back to, or his father killed my father, and now his son is coming to probably try to do the same thing to me. You know, that dynamic made that movie almost as good as the first one. The first one was great. The second one was good, but I just think was something in it that just made it not as good as the first one. But it would be one A and one B basically when it comes to that sequel trilogy, sequels. So yes, I want to see it Creed 3. I don't know what they will do to have a Creed 3, but I don't want to see Michael J. White as Clubber Lang's son. That just sounds far-fetched to me.
Okay. Danny, since you're going in and out, you want to talk about this really quick?
Can you
Hear me, Danny? Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah.
I'll start your clock. You got 3 minutes. You know what the question is, or do you need me to repeat it?
I'll try to go.
Okay,
I know the question
if
is.
Creed. All right, cool. All right, go ahead then. Go ahead, Danny.
I said everyone should ignore.
Oh,
It's breaking up.
mm-hmm.
I think he's saying everybody should ignore what I said.
I'm thinking.
Most probably.
Oh, here he is again. Hold on. All right. Uh-oh. All right. Danny, one more time. Go ahead.
Okay. Now,
It's cutting in and out.
Where the hell are you driving?
can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think everyone should ignore. I think everyone should ignore Nzo. And they should, if you don't want to see it just for him, I want to see. It ain't gonna be Clubber Lang's son. It could be younger bird. I don't care. Or if it is his son, it could be like. Rocky has been going to the well so many times. It's the same thing. So.
Oh. All right, we'll see what happens here. While we're waiting on him to come back, go ahead, Gaiskar.
I think that if they're gonna do a Creed 3, which they are gonna do it,
Mm-hmm.
right, on an original story. Forget about going into the past with Clubber Lang and all that. It's done. Like Anzo said, and I agree with them 150% actually, that they did a great. One was great, 2 was good, but enough with the they're doing it so much that's almost like rebooting kind of, because they're going through the same story arc kind of, like revenge and history and what, just come out with an original story. There's plenty of scenarios that could be done. He can go for a combination of welterweight or heavyweight. What is he? Is he a heavyweight? in the movies?
Sorry,
I
yeah, he's
think so.
heavyweight.
He's heavyweight. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know. He can go down a couple of weight classes to do a unification with a an upcoming young buck who's undefeated or whatever. Right? There's so many things they can do. He has his kid now, right? Because the second one he had his kid. You can show that part of his personal life as well. Where he's at that stage, but just stick away from the Clubber Lang and all that stuff. They just need to become original. There's so much that could be done. I mean, 2 was great. I enjoyed it. The whole seeing Dolph Lundgren come back in that role was awesome. The son was awesome. It was a beast. It was a great movie, as well as it had meaning. It had deep meaning, right? And I don't think they're gonna get that same feel from going again, like Anzo said, going back to that well. Yes, Rocky's gone to the well multiple times, but those movies hurt, right? Like the last couple of movies, like 5, my God, that was fucking terrible. Balboa was terrible.
What?
Balboa? Oh no, wait. Balboa is the last one, right?
Yeah.
The last one? That was okay. It was okay. But the 5 was terrible. 5 was fucking awful, right?
Which one was 5?
5 was the one with Tommy
yeah,
Gunn Morrison.
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, that was freaking terrible.
Absolutely.
When they fight on the street and shit. What the fuck?
Absolutely horrible.
I was actually upset that when they killed off Adrian. To be honest with you, that kind of sucked. But whatever, it's personal stuff that was behind the scenes, right? They both parted ways. But I think that they should just stick with originality and forget about past.
I thought Adrian died in real life. No,
she's alive.
Oh,
Yeah, there was. From what I heard, she agreed to come back just for a bit of that movie, just because Stallone, I think when they first started everything, it was like a chance that she didn't get. It was a chance he gave her, and it became this thing that she was known for. But it was more like okay, thank you for doing that, but I really don't want to even. I'm done really with this role. So they kind of just did it. I mean, I think Stallone's talked about it a little bit. I'm not sure if it was like bad blood, really, but it was just more of a
it was mutual.
I'm good.
Apparently,
it was like they both were just like, I just whatever. And I think again that Stallone was trying to write into what they're doing now, which is the whole Creed stuff. I think he was just trying to find a stopping point for his character where he could just be the mentor now. He's Mickey now, basically. And I understand Danny wants to see this, and at least he does say it doesn't have to be Clubber Lang's son, because here's the thing: if that was the case, Mr. T is 68 years old, and Michael Jai White's 53.
Right.
15 years old, he would have had to been. Well, okay, not that that's impossible, but let's just go down the rabbit hole a little bit further. Not all the way. We're going to hold on to the edge here, but if you do the math, 15 years old is how old Clubber Lang would have been when he had the kid that Michael Jai White was. So we can play with that a little bit. We can go 18, we can go 20 probably. So even then, if he had a kid, it would have still been in the movie in 1982. Because he would have been old enough to have already had that kid in order for it to work with their ages. So we didn't see a kid in that movie. Can't bring a kid up now. Because it's like, where the hell did this kid come from? It kind of makes sense with the Drago. Because, he had a wife. It was just, he was always training. So you may not have seen that. He was very much a machine. So you may not have seen it. You may not have heard about it. There was enough questions behind that you didn't have to worry about it. This would really need some explaining, because, like I said, if you showed these two at the age that Michael Jai White would look next to Mr. T, you would automatically be thinking, well, wouldn't they have had the kid when he was in Rocky 3, and wouldn't we have seen him? So Unknown Love Child, Dandelion, possibly. Rocky 4 is my favorite Rocky sequel, which is probably why I like Creed 2 so much. If you like Rocky 4, yes. But
Dandelion said Unknown Love Child. Yeah, but that's what Creed was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Creed was the Unknown Love Child. So
yeah, you can't keep going down that road.
Same road again. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand that Rocky, yes, it's very much the same things over and over. They changed a few things, but once they got to 5, you see that they kind of ran out of ideas. Balboa was there to wrap up the Rocky series in a nice bow. You don't want to start falling down that same rabbit hole with
Creed.
I mean, you can, but you make them your stories. You had the one story that made sense. The guy killed your dad. His son's after you. Makes sense. Okay, great. Works for me. But I don't know why you'd have Clubber Lang even come back into this. I guess maybe he has a rival, training facility or something, and he's just there. That's fine, I guess. But if that's the case, just write a new character, write a whole new story, and just have the beef between Rocky and Clubber. Just as a side bit. That's fine. 3 minutes for all of us to talk about it. I think the three of us are on the same page. I don't have a problem with Michael Jai White coming in to be a boxer or another trainer, maybe. But again, age-wise, it's really difficult. After your 40s, it's really difficult to start acting like you're upper 20s, lower 30s.
What are you saying? I can't become a boxer now because I'm over 40?
No. What I'm saying is in Hollywood, we all know that most of the teenagers you see on teenage sitcoms and stuff, most of them play that part until they're in their early to mid 20s, depending on how they look. It's the same thing. Once you pass 50, it's really difficult to start playing upper 20s to lower 30s.
Yeah.
And so Michael Jai White can come in as a boxer, but why would he be fighting this younger kid? I mean, so that's where my problem is with it. But like you said, Nzo, another trainer makes sense. You give him, I mean, and then again, you know what? You want to give Rocky, one last hurrah. Have a bar scene, and those two go at it really quick. I mean, that's fine. That makes sense. I mean, that's great. But this is about Creed. So focus on Creed.
Right.
I agree.
So anybody else got anything else?
I agree. Well, I was saying I agree with you 100%. You know, and you can have maybe a new up and comer who's just like smashing people, killing everybody. You know what I mean? And it could be one of Creed's biggest challenge. I don't know how you would top. You see, that's the hardest part. Is you put Drago's son in part 2. It's hard to top that.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys played Fight Night Champion?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
The guy they have in there that's just stupid difficult to beat in the story mode.
Yep.
A guy like that would make sense. And you have something, not the whole prison thing, but at the end of 3, these guys go at it and he gets his butt handed to him. I mean, it's okay for these people to lose, but put it in a different place than where Rocky did. Think about it. Rocky lost in 1, but in 2, 3, 4, even 5, and I don't know. I haven't seen all of Balboa. Blame me. I need to go watch it. Okay, it ends in a draw. Okay, but would it be interesting to go ahead and have Creed lose in 1? And then the next time they go at it again, and you don't play they become buddies. No, the guy just respects him and says, all right, man, you beat my ass in 4, and walks away, and that's done. That storyline's done. You don't have to bring him in as his best friend like they did in Rocky. I mean, there's lots of places they can go with this, but they got to be careful because you don't, again, like you guys said, you don't want it to feel too much like Rocky.
Yeah.
You really want to start making your own path. That way, if they decide to kill Rocky off in the series, it's okay. If they decide that, God forbid Stallone dies, I mean, you could still go on.
Yeah.
if you feel the need to, which again, you don't have to have 60 sequels. So
Yeah, it's Michael B. Jordan directing it, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think so. All right, we're going to do the third topic now. See, I'm glad this one came up. I like this. When stressed out, what is your go-to? And I don't know why I got in there, but I'll fix that. When stressed out, what is your go-to artist group to listen to?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Change it up a little bit here.
I would have to. All right, whoever wants to go first, go ahead.
You're like, not me.
I have so
Not
many.
really,
Like,
Yeah,
I
I know.
like,
and
yeah,
you,
so
and,
many.
okay, listen, you don't have to do just one. Give me an idea, because I mean, when I hear what you're talking about, I'm gonna be like, okay, I see where you're going with this, and I mean, it could be all over the place. I don't care. When stressed out, what is your go-to music group, artist, any of that thing to listen to? And since Gaiskar wants a little more time, Nzo, go ahead.
Well, I said it before, and I'll say it again. My go-to artist, and will always be, is R. Kelly. His
Wait,
music,
sure?
his music talks to me. When I'm listening to his music, it soothes me down. You know, it brings back maybe some memories of shit that happened in the past, but I always feel like his songs sing to me. Like on every album R. Kelly has, he has one song, maybe more than one or two, that actually feels like he's singing that song for me. It's exactly how the way I was feeling at the time. So I always go back and listen to it, man. Plus his voice is so smoothing. Like I always said, if I ever had a talent, it would be singing, and if I had a voice, I would want it to be like his. Like that shit is a panty dropper. I don't care what you want to say. You know what I mean? Like
It's that de-stressing. Okay, I got you.
you know, it's I don't even have to be famous. I just walk down the street, go sit in the metro, and start brailing that voice. Yeah, you know, it's like, oh my god, here you go. All right, so
Pipe.
yeah, so definitely that's it. My go-to genre will always be R&B. You know what I mean? I love hip hop. I grew up on the old school stuff, but when it comes to like soul and feeling, I always find more songs that I feel in R&B, and that's why R. Kelly is like my favorite artist of all times. And I know people may say, "Oh, you know what he did," and blah 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 blah, but I'm not gonna take that away from the talent that the man had. Like he had talent. He was a musical genius. To know that he can barely read and he's writing those songs. Like, let's not get it twisted. He writes his own songs. Yeah, there were a few that I'm pretty sure were given to him or whatever, but he wrote a song for Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? So
That's facts.
yeah,
That's facts.
yeah, at the end of the day, like you tell you all the time back in the day, whoever anybody wanted to work with, it was him, because they knew they were getting a hit on their hands. You know, he has some of the biggest hits out of any R&B artist out there. So for me, it's him, man. I'll just throw on like Chocolate Factory, and I'll play that. I'll play that album from start to finish. Just listening to him. So that's my go-to artist when I need to listen to some music and just mellow out. I throw on R. Kelly always.
Wow. Awesome. Does a little orchestra count? Sure, dude. You know what? Everybody's different
Exactly.
when it comes to music, man. Yeah,
It's whatever you feel. You know what I mean? That's what music is there for you to feel. So
indeed. All right, Gaiskar, you ready?
Well, yes, I am. It's just
Go
me.
ahead.
It depends what it is that's stressing me out, right? If it's the job, then I'm on the car, and if I'm pissed off or whatever, then I'm listening to some serious Beastie Boys, and I crank up Sabotage to the volume max. If I'm just bummed out or whatever, I go back to the old school. I crank up some Houdini, and I listen to like Friends, and, the song Friends. That that song I relate to it back in the day with, growing up with who were my true friends when I was, because I was bullied a lot. So I had certain people that stood up for me back then, Nzo being one of them, even though he picked on me too sometimes, but it was different when it was just my core 3 friends. It's different, right? You know how it is.
Yeah.
Other times when I'm getting stressed out after a hockey game back in the day or whatever, or I was pissed off because we lost or I didn't, get that play, I would crank up some, Busta Rhymes from back in the day, like when he started up, right? Give me some more, those type of tracks. Missy Elliott. Yeah. Not only that, other times I would just pop up Tribe Called Quest and I'll be listening to their album, right? Especially with Busta Rhymes, which one I'm talking about, right?
Here we go, yo. Here we go,
exactly. The scenario. So, yeah. And if it's stuff like family stuff and stuff like that, then, I go back to, reggaeton, some salsa, whatever. I keep it really diverse. I even listen to some Three Doors Down and some freaking, Kryptonite, right? Crank that song in the car as well, right? So I listen to everything. So, but my go-to that really de-stress is Sabotage. That's the song I really freaking crank because that's what it is. That's how I feel. I feel like everything's a fucking sabotage. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like my coffee with sugar and cream. Yeah, that's it. I like my coffee with some sugar and cream.
Yes, dude. No, I love. Man, the Beastie Boys are
Never
always.
liked them, I never liked them,
Yeah, I know. I know you
Nope.
never liked them. No,
I never liked the Beastie Boys.
it was the rock part, right? That got to you.
Yeah, I never liked them.
I know.
To me, they sound a little bit like yelling. You know what I mean when they're rapping, and I didn't like that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
They do kind of, but I don't know. Maybe it's just that it was. Again, they wanted to be in a metal band, and they kind of realized they had this talent, and they mixed the two together. And I like that. I really do. But I can understand, man. There are lots of things that people listen to that I just don't think is my thing.
Sorry. But
Go ahead.
Finish what you say, but I have one more thing to add after. Go ahead.
Man, there are tons. REM, some old
Love REM.
old country music, and I know this sounds bad, but yeah, like Willie, Waylon, those types of things. Some just depends. But again, it does depend on what it is. Like if I'm just like stressed out because like my nerves are just all like tensed up, or I have a headache, stuff like that, I'll listen to things like Enya, Enigma, like new age stuff. There's a band that they've gone through multiple names: KLF, Time Lords. They're Euro House. Like if I'm just kind of antsy and I want to just kind of bounce around, I like listening to that stuff. Drake, The Weeknd. I mean, those are some I like listening to. Some old school Metallica, if it's like just Rage, that type of stuff. Maybe Anthrax. Trying to think what else. Van Halen. I like that at times. I listen to everything. So like on my playlist, I have like 400 songs on my phone, and like when I'm working in the mornings, we do logging of all our equipment and stuff.
Sorry,
you're good. And another one, Bob Marley. Bob Marley will always get you in a good, cool mood. I mean, it's like, you could have the worst thing going on. You just listen to him, saying, "Don't worry about a thing." It's like, how could that not bring you down? Yeah. Man, but there's
As of this morning.
Yeah. What, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man, I sung that so many times.
Dude, but I love that. I mean, I don't know. Just you're right. It does depend on what it is. When I was growing up, when I was really little, my mom, when I would have tough nights and stuff, when I was like 1 to 3, she would put on The Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars on record and play it in my room. And so I still like going to that occasionally. So, you know, you ask for that, you know, but, yeah, I mean, definitely. So there's tons and tons and tons of music out there. And I don't think it's one thing, but LUG, that is freaking awesome. Okay. Well, now I got to play with this for a second, but, what was I going to do now? Oh yeah. So, I'm trying to save something here. Hold on. But yeah, I have tons and tons of songs and bands and groups that I listen to. It's like a mishmash. But the easy thing that I do is when a song hits me, it goes on repeat. And I think Nzo, you said that too. It's like just be a song, and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm listening to this. This is what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
The one I forgot before that I listened to that album over like multiple albums of hers, Mary J. Blige. Hands down. That one, man, like R. Kelly is for Nzo, that was for me. Mary J. Blige was for me, man. That one, you know, whew.
I listen to a lot of her stuff. Even till now, I still listen to Mary J. Blige. But she has, which I just seen yesterday, it was like a little interview. She had a Skype thing with some dudes, and she was like, man, when she was doing those songs, she was high on drugs, she was drinking, she was this and that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, she said it's kind of hard for her to listen to those songs now because she
was hurting during those times.
Yeah, how her life used to be, and that's not how she is, you know?
Well, you know, and I think it's just important that if you remember, that's not who I am, that's not how it is, that, you know, you can.
But the thing is, for me, is those are the times when you get the best music.
Oh, absolutely.
When Usher was going through his shit, he came out with Confessions. That album is fire.
Yeah.
When R. Kelly was going out with his shit, he came out with Chocolate Factory. That shit was fire. And then when Mary J. Blige was going with her shit, she came out with her I can't remember the name of the album, man, but all the songs on that album.
The second one or the third one? That was
the third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The third
No
one.
More Drama, right?
Yeah, where she broke up after she broke up with the dude there. Yeah.
No More Drama.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, you know, and that's the thing. It's like when these songs come on and you can feel the artist's pain, that's a song. Trust me. Sure. There was another thing, because we talked about R.E.M., I watched that movie, it was a while ago, Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise. And they play a song in that one called Sweetest Sorrow, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that song is...
Or is it the Sweetness Follows?
Yeah. Oh my God, that song is
Sweetness
so good.
Follows. Oh yeah, no, dude. Some of their songs, like they're in the last like 4 or 5 albums they did, is like, holy crap, guys. You need to like take some happy pills or something, dude, because you're tearing me apart. I don't know. And one I thought of, and we were talking about him last night, Eminem, dude, that guy, dude, he has songs that just the way he raps sometimes it takes it out of you. You're like, yeah, because dude, that guy's got some shit that he's dealt with in his life.
Absolutely. And me, when Eminem first came out and he was doing all that jokey type of rap, slim shit, I hated him. But when he started coming serious and like got rid of all that jokey shit, I was like, yo, this dude is fire, bro.
Yep.
You know, Stan.
Well, I always figured that was like his bubble gum.
Yeah. It was
his bubblegum
commercials. It was his commercial song, you know what I mean? To get him out there. Dre know what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But yeah, like Slim Shady, the real Slim Shady, I hate that song. To this day, I still hate that.
I'm Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shady are just imitating.
I hate that song.
You know
what? Makes my doing. What was that one?
I know, dude, that guy has some crazy.
But that one I don't mind. That was
fucking
one of my favorite ones. My ex-wife, her daughter, you know, used to call me Daddy Chris because it was like my stepdaughter. I never officially, went down that road or anything, but she loved the song "My Dad's Gone Crazy," and she said that's about you. And I'm like, oh God, I think Dad's gone crazy. I love that song though. I'm going to hell. Who's coming with me?
He has a song with Busta Rhymes called "Calm Down." Song fire. Renegade with Jay-Z, fire. And his track on Warning, Biggie Smalls album. Oh my God, he rips those songs.
Biggie's another good one. Biggie, Tupac. And it's so sad, man, because like nowadays, it wasn't. There's not really that East-West thing as much as it was, but back then we lost these two great talents
for bullshit.
Yeah, it was like I thoroughly believe when one was taken, the other was basically a sacrifice. It's like, okay, fine, take him because I guess that's what we got to do. And I mean, I know that's not popular with a lot of people, but it's kind of how they would have thought, and that sucks because I mean, geez, and I mean. Puffy, he's all right, but I mean, he's like what we settled for because Biggie wasn't around anymore.
But I got to a point where I felt Puffy was just milking it out of
anything he's ever done.
Well, hold on. One point. If you watch, and I can't remember what documentary it is, but they tell you like Puffy was the one who changed music from what it was, that gangster shit. To all the pop and dance and shit. It was.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the on Netflix. It was the hip hop, history hip hop or something like that. It was a series.
Something like that. Yeah,
absolutely. He changed it up, but how did he change it up? By bringing back the old beats and old shit, right? Like it was like, what was that called? Fuck, I can't remember now. It just made it dancey and fun, right, and catchy because they brought out old beats,
Brought in Mace
around the road, exactly. Hey, he was smart. He was smart. But a lot of people, pointed a finger at him. Did he have anything to do with the whole thing, right? As well, But anyways,
we now know who killed Tupac. The Tupac or Biggie? We all know who killed one of them, anyways.
Do they know?
Yeah. It's been confirmed now. It was actually it was the guys they were looking at from the beginning. I can't remember their names right now. Was
it Tupac the guy that they had the scuffle with in the casino?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, and they thought that, but it's just so weird because of where it was at. It was, I mean, there's still a lot of talk that he was put onto it by
Puff.
Was it Shook or was it
Puff?
No,
to
Puff.
Kill
Okay,
Tupac.
Because Tupac was on Shook's side, right? Yeah. So yeah.
No. Yeah, Tupac was on Shook's side. Yeah, Tupac was with Shook.
Yeah. And that's why when they took. Yeah.
I gotta remember the story. I'm trying to remember, but the two guys that did it, they had them as suspects for a long time. They have the show on Netflix where it's Biggie and Tupac, and you can see at the beginning of the investigation, these are the two guys that they have their eyes on, and it ended up being confirmed that it was those two guys, same two guys. So it was like, shit, man. 20 years later, took you this long.
Also, you didn't like Wu-Tang?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. No, dude, Wu-Tang. Oh.
Have you ever seen the Wu-Tang series?
No.
Have you ever seen the Wu-Tang game? I had the Wu-Tang game. Yes,
I don't listen
on
to a lot of their
PS1.
stuff.
Oh, dude.
Just a few of their songs, but never really listened to them. Like Redman, Method Man, yeah. But
Only Built for Cuban Links with Raekwon is one of the greatest albums of all times.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It has every single track on that album is good. Every single one. It's definitely the best Wu-Tang full album. The Where They're Together, I think it's the Forever album, but when it comes to solo artists, it's that Raekwon Only Built for Cuban Links. Then probably Method Man is after that.
All right, guys. We've been going for about an hour, a little over an hour.
Yes, sir.
Good conversation as always. Appreciate it. Wish Danny could have been here. I know his phones are always, I don't know. I don't go very far. So if I'm on a phone, people are always like, oh man, you're on the phone. And it's like, yeah, I go all of like 6 blocks or something like that. It's like right in around the general area. So I'm not ever out and about too far.
Terrible.
Well,
But your connection is always good though.
Well,
when you come up with your phone.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I think it's the area because I'm in a populated area. I'm in a city area. So like every, 6-7 blocks, we've got a cell phone tower. So, but like I said, I don't go very far outside of that because once I start going out there, I'll find the spots. But great having you guys on as always. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourselves one more time. Nzo, go ahead and start again.
Yes, sir. You guys know, once again, channel Biggaford Entertainment. Stay tuned for the OOC later on. Other than that, I do appreciate all you guys to come check it out. I do appreciate doing this show with you guys. It's fun. That's about it, man.
Great.
I'm going to keep my shit simple. Basco scenario, game clips, Chaos Central. And on Biggaford, there's where I be.
There you go. Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, 3 shows, 4 coming soon. This week, tomorrow, we have the Weekly Rumble Tournament of Champions finale. Onzo's on there. JJ Sithlord 3827, he's on there. We have Shellback and who? Oh yeah, LDG. Oh damn, I almost forgot about LDG.
The one who should not be on the show, but whatever.
I wanted to keep it within the champions. Just beat his ass. That's all you gotta do. Just beat his ass.
Second chance to get into the finals. That's Kaka.
Kaka. Kaka. Kaka. Is that what we're called? Kaka. It's Kaka. All right, guys. With that said, thank you for being here today. We greatly appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget, Friday is the Chaotic Conversation this week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there because that's going to be a fun and great show. Other than that, guys, peace.